Saturday was a day Mark Marquis of Stanford would like to forget as quickly as possible. Nothing went right. From a close play at the plate that might have been the key that powered Miami to a big win. How big? They'll try 17-3. 5 home runs. A frustrating afternoon for Stanford. For Arizona's Jerry Kindle, defeat was an even tougher pill to swallow. His young Wildcats played tradition-rich Texas tough. Arizona jumped on left-hander Greg Swindell for an early 1-0 lead. It looked like that lead might stand up because Wildcat left-handed pitcher Joe McGrain was doing his part. He allowed Texas just 1 hit through the first 7 innings. But Texas did push across single runs in the 7th and the 8th, and they beat Arizona. The final was 2-1. Tonight, it's a Pac-10 matchup. College World Series, Stanford and Arizona. Welcome once again to Rosenblatt Stadium, Omaha, Nebraska. It is Game 6 of the 1985 College World Series. Arizona and Stanford. They have already played 6 times this year. They'll play 1 more. The loser goes home. The winner sticks around a while longer. Good evening, everyone. I'm John Sanders, and working with me once again is Jim Price. We get set for this losers bracket game. But let's talk first of all about those losses for Arizona. Jerry Kindle, very tough, 2-1 to Texas.
I'll tell you, a late night loss last night, a very late night loss last night to a very good team, Texas. Very good pitch game by both pitchers. Tonight, I think it's important for Stanford to jump out early to see that they can score some runs again. And for Arizona, it's important for them to get on the board early and get a good pitch game.
Well, they lost that one 2-1 last night. It was very tough. They have a young team. One of the big questions is how will that young team respond? Well, let's find out by talking to Jerry Kindle. We go downstairs now to Irv Brown. Irv?
Jerry, young ball club, how will they respond tonight?
Oh, it's interesting to speculate on that, Irv. I hope they respond with a strong effort. It's an unpredictable thing with youngsters' emotions. They've been sitting around here for a long time waiting for the game to begin. They've been a fighting, scrapping ball club all year, so I expect that we'll do that again. Now, how we play will remain to be seen.
4-hour ball game in the first one. How long have you been sitting around?
Well, we've been here a good hour and 45 minutes, Irv, waiting for that first game to conclude. So it's a tough, frustrating, uptight kind of wait that both teams have endured. Stanford is going through the same thing we are. So it'll be anxious. We're all anxious to get this game underway.
Good luck to you, Jerry.
Thanks, sir.
All right, let's go back up to you, John.
Stanford had to endure something last night as well. 17-3 was the final score in their loss as they moved into the losers bracket as well. They've got to put it out of their mind and get on to the next thing. And, of course, we start talking about Stanford. We look at their cleanup man, good-looking prospect, Rick Lundblade.
Boy, he really is a good-looking prospect. He's big. He hits with power. In fact, he owns a career home run record at Stanford, but he can do a lot of other things. The thing I like about him is he'll go with the pitch. He doesn't try to pull everything, and he can dance with the best of them at first base. He'll be a key in tonight's ball game.
He is a senior, one of those expected to be drafted tomorrow. You must be a junior before you can be drafted, and for many of the young men around the country and here in Omaha at the College World Series, tomorrow is a very big day because that's the day that the major league teams make their selections. It's the annual baseball draft coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow is Major League Baseball's amateur draft. From the Tigers, Bill LaJoy talks about some of the prospects.
There are several major league prospects here and quite a few professional prospects, and the difference would be a major league prospect is one that we feel will play in the major leagues for a period of time. You know, you're looking at 4 to 10-year player. Professional prospect is one that would be drafted lower and probably through his getting experience in the minor leagues for 3 or 4 years may advance to the big leagues.
The scouts like Bruce Ruffin of Texas. The southpaw with good control mixes his pitches well. Then there's Mike Pell, another Longhorn liked by the scouts. Hard-throwing right-hander has come on very strong. And Joe McGrain of Arizona, good control, mixes his pitches well. He has good velocity. Also, Mike Cook of South Carolina, 3/4 sidearm, very tough on right-handers. You've seen the pitchers. What about some of the hitters?
Offensively, that Will Clark and Rafael Palmieri at Mississippi State are excellent power-hitting type ball players. They have the ability to hit the ball out of the park and also hit for average. Pete Incaviglia at Oklahoma State is probably the premier power hitter in the country this year with somewhere over 40 home runs, 47 I believe. he has the ability to hit the ball for average and also out of the park. He at this time may not play his position quite as well as you'd like him to, but through minor league experience, he should be able to improve that part of his ball game.
Every draft has its dark horses, and LaJoy likes Ellis Roby of Arkansas with good speed, fields well, a good arm. He's also very high on Bobby Thigpen of Mississippi State. He can run, hit, throw, and to top it all off, he's also a pitcher. Those are just some of the young men who might be drafted tomorrow. There will be others, of course, not only here in Omaha, but around the country. But when you get to the losers bracket of the College World Series, you're not really thinking about the draft. You're going to worry about this game coming up.
Well, that's true. But, you know, the interesting thing, and you have been a big part of it, and I've been here for 5 years, and we at ESPN have seen it really change in college baseball. 5 years ago, I don't think the pros looked at college baseball that sharply. Now, all of a sudden, you can check just about every major league roster. You'll find college baseball players on major league rosters. They're looking more and more to college baseball.
And you'll find a lot of them from the schools that make it to Omaha for the College World Series. It is Game 6 coming up live from Omaha, Nebraska. From the Pac-10, the Wildcats of Arizona trying to stay alive against the Cardinal of Stanford. We're at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska, as we continue our coverage of the 1985 College World Series. And tonight's Game 6 is being brought to you by your local Ace Hardware man. Remember, Ace is the place. It's the Wildcats and the Cardinal coming up from Rosenblatt. Arizona coach Jerry Kindle must like to do things the hard way. The 2 times his teams have won this championship, they've done it through the losers bracket. Well, he's going to try it again starting tonight, and here's his lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop is Tommy Hinzo, a junior from San Diego, California. Batting second and playing second base, Chip Hale, a sophomore from Moraga, California. In the number 3 spot is the left fielder, Mike Senney, a junior from Orange, California. Batting cleanup tonight for Arizona, the first baseman, Todd Trafton. He's a junior from Elk Grove, California. In the number 5 spot is the third baseman, Gar Malay, a sophomore from San Diego, California. Batting 6th, the designated hitter, Randy Hayes, a senior from Scottsdale, Arizona. Batting number 7 and playing center field tonight is Chuck Johnson, a junior from Oakland, California. Batting 8th and playing right field is Dave Shermet, a freshman from Cypress, California. And batting 9th for the Wildcats tonight, the catcher, David Taylor, a junior from Camarillo, California. And defensively for the Cardinal, it'll be Rick Lundblade, an outstanding prospect at first base. Second baseman is Pete Stanisic. At shortstop, it's John Verducci. And over at third, Ruben Amaro, very familiar name to followers of Major League Baseball. In the outfield, Walt Harrison left. Center fielder is Mark Davis. And in right, it's Toy Cook. Behind the plate is John Ramos. And out on the mound, the record of 10-4 is Jack McDowell, a freshman, 6'5", 280, good size, Van Nuys, California. He has given up 121 hits in 119 innings, 83 strikeouts, and 50 walks. We have a couple of big young pitchers tonight.
John, we really do. And when you look at this young man, you got to believe he throws hard, which he does. He's got an exploding type fastball, and you'll probably see him throw that 60% of the time tonight. Stanford coach Mark Marquez really thinks a lot of this young freshman.
Well, we had very strong winds last night. It is still rather gusty here, although not as strong as last night. Basically from the north, the northeast, 67 is the temperature. It's been a beautiful day in Omaha, Nebraska. We are not expecting any rain, and we're going to have a great time for game number 6. One team has already been eliminated. South Carolina is heading home. Richard Zivick will be the umpire behind the plate tonight for game 6. Tony Patch at first. Gus Steiner at second base, and Al Foreman is over at third. Tommy Hinzo will lead it off, and we are just about underway. Started for the first pitch, and we still had a ball in the outfield, so we'll wait a second. Hinzo 1 for 4 in the loss to Texas on the season, batting .338.
And this is a young man that makes the offense go. He needs to get on base. On the other hand, Stanford, Mark Marquez says we have to keep him off. That's the key for us to win tonight.
Tommy Lee Hinzo takes ball 1 as the game gets underway. He's 5'10", 170-pound junior, San Diego, California. Hit through the right side. Nobody can get to it, and Hinzo is aboard. Ball had eyes, Jim. It rolled in the right spot. Everybody had a shot at it. Nobody could catch up with it.
Perfectly placed. Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. That was a high fastball out over the plate. He swung a little bit late on it, but as you said, John, he hit it where they ain't, and that's the key in baseball.
So he's aboard. Let's see what happens. 43 stolen bases for Tommy Hinzo. The batter now is Chip Hale, the second baseman. Quick throw to first. McDowell has a good move on the mound.
He's very quick out there. Looking at his physique, you know he's cat quick on the mound.
Ground ball again through the right side, base hit. Hinzo around second. He goes to third. They've got a chance to get him. He's out. Strong throw from Toy Cook, and there wasn't much question about it. Hinzo running all the way was cut down by Cook.
Another base hit to right on the first pitch. Hinzo does pick up Jerry Kendall at third base, and he was going in there all the way. A good throw by Toy Cook, and he is a dead duck. Base running mistake early in the ball game.
So one out, one on. There he is from behind as he heads. You can see how far the ball is there. Just waiting at third is Amaro to apply the tag. So the number 3 batter, Mike Senni, will be up, the left fielder. .332 season average. 0 for 3 on Saturday. A 2-1 loss to Texas by Arizona. The runner at first is Chip Hale. Back-to-back singles, but there's one out for the runner at first. That is Chip Hale. He got the base hit to right field. South Carolina eliminated earlier by Oklahoma State. A typical Cowboy game. It was 16-11 between the two teams. 28 walks.
I don't know about you, but I became a little mesmerized in that ball game, John.
But the Cowboys are still here. Oklahoma State, by the way, in the first 2 games of the College World Series, has used 11 pitchers. Joe Estes, who is a pitcher and will be in the bullpen later as coach at first for Arizona, and Jerry Kendall in his 13th season, 518 victories as the coach over at third. This is a team that was 22-36 a year ago. They took a lot of lumps last year, but it's paid off this year. Senni fouls it back.
Well, they made a big turnaround. Coach Jerry Kendall wasn't sure how good they were going to be this year, and he says about halfway through the season, things started to gel. They realized, hey, they did have a chance to make it to the College World Series again. They breezed right through the regional, and here they are once again. They've been here many times before.
Jerry Kendall, the only man to play and coach a College World Series championship team. He was on the Minnesota team as a player in '56. That's fouled on the right field line. Another good crowd in Omaha, Nebraska's Rosenblatt Stadium. Good possibility that we'll move ahead of the all-time attendance record here tonight. We're on a record pace. It is a big ballpark, 343 down the lines, 370 in the alleys, and it's a Jim Price long ball to center field.
Yeah, that's right, a Willie Horton long ball, right?
420. But we have had some home runs. Miami with 5 in one game against Stanford.
Pete Ingavilla in the first game tonight hit one out of here so quick. I wasn't sure how far it ended up.
But a little bit later during this game, as we take a look back at some College World Series history, we'll show you a home run that won't soon be forgotten.
I think I remember that one.
2-2 the count. Hit on the ground is short. Verducci charging, goes to second for one. The relay to first is not in time. Ball really not hit hard enough. A good effort that time by Verducci and Stanisic, but they could not quite turn the double play.
Well, you will see in the game tonight one of college baseball's finest shortstops. He makes a good play, gets it over to second base. By that time, the runner is all the way over first base. No chance to get the runner with a ball hit that slow. Remember now, the infield here is slow. The grass is high, so difficult to turn it over unless it's hit real hard.
It is still slow, even though they worked on it today and mowed the entire field. Outfield and infield was given a good trimming earlier this afternoon. So now it's Senni at first. Trafton, the cleanup batter, at the plate. Almost threw that one down the line. Lundblade had to reach out and get it. So Jack McDowell will go back to the stretch position. Most catchers appreciate a pitcher who's not afraid to throw over to first base.
Boy, truer words were never spoken. You can't throw over enough as far as the catcher's concerned.
inside for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, 1 on for the Wildcats of Arizona, the West 2 regional champions. Todd was 0 for 4, struck out 2 times against Texas last night. It's a double elimination tournament. Swing and a miss.
Well, I've said this for just about every year I've been here, John. It's too bad that 2 teams have to go home so early because it's a long, tough season. Very difficult regional to get to the College World Series, but unfortunately it is an elimination and some do have to leave early.
You know, the winner's bracket is the way to go, obviously, but you get too discouraged down there at Arizona because Jerry Kendall has won this championship twice through the loser's bracket, 76 and 80. Again, Todd Trafton with the big swing, but he comes up empty. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
This young freshman, McDowell, really dips down low, but he comes over the top with the ball and really has a good follow-through. In fact, sometimes you'll notice he'll try to overthrow too much and he'll fall off too much to the left of the mound.
Got him with a good fastball. A couple of hits, but no damage by Arizona in the top half of inning number 1. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. The Cardinal of Stanford will get their first chance at the plate here in Rosenblatt Stadium. Game 6 of the College World Series. The Cardinal of Stanford came into this College World Series ranked number 1 in the nation. Well, if they're going to finish number 1, Mark Marquis' squad cannot afford any more losses. Here's his starting lineup for tonight. Leading off and playing second base is Pete Stanasek, a senior from Park Forest, Illinois. Batting second and playing third base is Ruben Amaro, a sophomore from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Batting third, the center fielder Mark Davis. He's a junior from San Diego, California. In the number 4 spot is the first baseman, Rick Lundblade, a senior from Eureka, California. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Mike DeBenin, a junior from Huntington Beach, California. Batting sixth and playing left field is Walt Harris, a junior from Lodi, California. In the number 7 spot is the right fielder, Toy Cook, a sophomore from Canoga Park, California. Batting 8th and catching is John Ramos, a sophomore from Tampa, Florida. And batting 9th, the shortstop, John Verducci, a senior from Burlingame, California. And defensively for the Wildcats, Todd Trafton is at first. Chip Hale, the second baseman. Tommy Hinzo at short. At third, it's Gar Malay. And in the outfield tonight for Arizona, Mike Senni is in left field. Chuck Johnson, excellent defensively in center field. Dave Shermett, the right fielder. David Taylor, an outstanding defensive catcher behind the plate. And Dave Carley, a record of 8 and 4, under an average of 5.30. He also has 1 save. He's pitched 107 innings thus far this year, given up 118 hits, 57 strikeouts, 53 walks. He's big also, 6'8", 215, sophomore from Eureka, California.
And he should be loaded with confidence because he's coming off the best pitch game he's ever had in college baseball. A 6-0 4-hit complete game in the West 2 regional against Fresno State, and they had a whale of a ball club. So you know he's just steaming with confidence tonight. He works fast. He has a good fastball. He'll mix up the breaking ball, a slider, and also a changeup.
So Dave Carley on the mound for the Wildcats of Arizona. Pete Stanasek leads it off. 341 his average. He was 1 for 5 in the loss to Miami on Saturday.
Well, John, like Hinzo leading off for Arizona, this is the key man for Stanford. Stanasek has to get on base for them to be successful to score runs.
These teams are very similar offensively, aren't they, Jim?
They really are. They really match up well.
That piece of it.
John, I think the one category where there is a glaring weakness for Arizona is number of errors over the season. There's a big discrepancy there, and that has hurt them throughout the year like it did last night.
Coaching down at first is Kirk Mason, one of the assistants for Stanford. And Dean Stutz is the coach over at third. Mark Marquis chooses to work in the dugout. So Stutz and Mason are the coaches for the Cardinal, and they'd like to see some runners. 3 runs for Stanford on Saturday. Not nearly enough for Miami. 5th trip to the College World Series for Stanford. Called strike 3. Stanasek does not agree, but he's called out on strikes.
That was a slider out of the strike zone, but the man in blue says Stanasek went far enough, and you're out.
Ruben Amaro.
Staniszak, no way did he agree with that. That's a questionable call, but he does have the last say. What are you talking about, Mr. Umpire?
But he is out. This is Ruben Amaro, switch hitter. .288 season average with 6 home runs. There is Mark Marquis, who works from the dugout, sends those signs out to his coaches on the baselines. A called strike by the home plate umpire, Richard Zivik.
Marquis makes no excuses about the pounding they took the other night from Miami. He said, we just got blasted. Let's get on with the second game of the World Series for us. We got to rebound.
Hit on the ground. The first baseman is there. Trapped him. Makes the play alone, and there are 2 outs.
Number 8, center fielder, Mark Davis.
So the batter now is Mark Davis, a junior from San Diego. .352 season average with 13 homers and 65 RBIs. Stanford and Arizona from the Pac-10. During the regular season, the Cardinal took 2 out of 3 from Arizona at Arizona and also at Stanford. So the season record 4-2.
You'll notice that in the infield, especially at the corners, they play a little bit deeper than you would expect because these Stanford kids run well. They're not particularly looking for the bunt.
Well, obviously Mark Davis saw the same thing you did.
That's right. Well, you got to be alert. You got to make the infield, make the plays, move them around. If you can draw them in from a hitter standpoint, you're going to have a better chance to rifle that ball by them.
And David Carley making his 3rd start against Stanford. These 2 teams are very familiar with each other as well, obviously, and same thing on the other side. Jack McDowell has faced Arizona for the 3rd time. 2-1 the count on Mark Davis. Let's go down to Irv Brown, who's noticed something in the batter's box. Irv?
Yeah, Jim Price, this guy stands in there much like DiMaggio, Vern Stevens, with the wide stance. How do you pitch this guy? How do you get him out?
Well, I would think you'd have to really come inside on him. Pitch him tight.
Called strike. Pretty good family here because young Mark Davis happens to be the brother of Mike Davis, who patrols the outfield for the Oakland A's and also torches a few home runs.
Boy, doesn't he, though?
Ground ball to short. Right through the legs of Hinzo and into left field. Well, Jim has already touched on it. There is a difference defensively, and that's what hurt Arizona. One of the runs that Texas scored was unearned. They had 2 errors in 1 inning the other night.
Plays like that are hard to figure because it's a routine ground ball. He just pulled the glove up and left the gates open. That's a cardinal sin in infield play. You always start your glove down on the ground and then adjust to it if it comes up. And that time, Hinzo made that cardinal sin.
149 errors for Arizona in the season. Here is Rick Lundblade, the cleanup batter, nudging right close to the 400 mark for the season.
Well, the pro scouts got to like this young man because he's big, he hits to all fields, he doesn't try to pull all the time, he uses the whole field.
2 balls and no strikes on Lundblade.
Mark Marquis giving the signs from the top of the dugout steps. Most of them probably don't mean anything. You got to hit the key. Once you hit the key, then you're alert.
Davis at first with 15 stolen bases. The ball is popped up down the right field line. Everybody chasing, and it's going to be out of play.
One of the things I've noticed already about Carley, he is not fast delivering the ball to home. You know, he's 6'8". He has a slow delivery to home plate, and I'm sure the Stanford Cardinal knows that already. So it's going to be a tough chore for Ramos, the catcher, to keep them under. I'm sorry, for Taylor, the catcher, to keep them under control.
Well, in his 2 games against Stanford, one game he had a no decision, the other game he suffered the loss. On the other side of the ledger, Jack McDowell is 1-1 against Arizona this year.
And this young Taylor behind the plate for Arizona has an exceptional arm. And has probably thrown out 30 to 40% of the runners that have tried to steal him, and that is a super statistic in college ball or in any league for that matter.
Well, we say that even though the team average is only 30%, but not all of those stats are his. His own personal stats are much better than the team stats.
I'd say he's probably around 40% from all the figures I can see here.
2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs in the inning. The error kept it alive. Runner going. So Mark Davis picks up his 16th stolen base. Moves himself into scoring position. This is the kind of thing that you'll see from both teams tonight.
Well, they both, as you said, they're similar teams. If you can get a jump, you've got to go. And he has a big lead, and he has a big jump. As you can see, he was almost halfway down by the time Carly released the ball. No throw from catcher Taylor. And it was probably a wise decision on his part, because if somebody has the base stolen that easy, don't throw it, because you could throw it into center field, and that man at second could be on third.
2 on with 2 out. The batter is Mike DeBenin, batting .302. No score here on the bottom half of the first. 2 outs. Fouled back out of play.
He had a good regional. He's been hot with the bat.
He was 2 for 3 on Saturday night. Both doubles. He drove in one of the 3 Cardinal runs.
John, I think it's so important in college ball, if your best hitter or your power man's batting fourth, that your 5th place hitter is able to come through for you.
Well, because many times you get in the situation we just saw. Davis steals second, so they're going to let.
That's right.
Even if it's not an intentional walk.
But what's my famous saying?
The unintentional intentional walk. So Lundblade is at first, Davis at second, DeBenin at the plate. Breaking ball on the corner. There is Davis. He walked, and whether he reached on an error, stole second. And it's Lundblade who walked at first. DeBenin at the plate, a count of no balls and 2 strikes. Carly way outside that time. DeBenin did not chase it. Bluffton moved to second, and hitting the deck was Davis. And nobody was covering.
But you got the feeling that he was headed to third base. You know, that error that Hinzo had was a big error. Now we have men on first and second.
Ground ball to third. Bad hop, but the third baseman stays with it. And Malay throws him out. So the inning is over. An error, a walk, 2 men left for Stanford. No score after 1 inning here in Game 6 of the '85 College World Series. Malay, Hayes, and Johnson coming up for the Wildcats of Arizona.
No hits. 1 error. 2 men left. Pleased to have 2 honorary captains for tonight's game. First base dugout.
Yeah,
We have touched already on how alike these 2 teams are offensively in their attack, and those numbers bear that out.
boy, it sure does. The only category where there might be a little bit of difference is in the home runs, and Stanford showing just a little bit more power. Lundblade, of course, a big part of that.
And we have to add 1 to that Stanford stolen base total, make it 148. No scores. We go to the second inning. Garmalay getting ready to lead off. He got the base hit to drive in the lone run for Arizona in Saturday's 2-1 loss to Texas. 329 season average. Wildcats had 2 hits in the first inning. Hot shot to third. Amaro knocks it down, stays with it, throws him out.
The Yankees, Randy Hayes.
It's easy to see why they call third base the hot corner. This was a hot shot. Amaro does what he's supposed to do. Keeps the ball in front of him. Use that body, knock it down, get over, pick it up, and throw the runner out.
is Randy Hayes. Hayes was a pinch hitter against Texas, struck out in that pinch hit appearance. He is the left-handed designated hitter. 8 homers and 49 RBIs on the year with a .335 average.
And John, I'll tell you something. They're stepping in that batter's box, cutting and slashing. They have not taken too many pitches. They're keying on the fastball. He's led off every hitter with the fastball so far.
The count now is 1 ball and 1 strike. Back McDowell coming in and struck out 83 and walked 50 in 119 innings.
He's been relying on the fastball so far, but I think he's going to have to go to some other pitches. He does have a split-fingered fastball or forkball, whatever you want to call it, and somewhat of a breaking ball, but he does rely on the number 1, the heater.
This is low. Irv, what about the pitcher?
Well, Jack McDowell is throwing 86 miles an hour. That's how he's topped off, guys. And for Arizona, Carly is at 85. The best we've gotten in the tournament, Swindell from Texas at 90.
Okay, 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Randy Hayes. Hayes right back up the middle, knocked down by McDowell. He recovers and throws him out.
Jack McDowell, who is a good all-around athlete. As a matter of fact, next year you might see him play in a regular position, but he is quick on the mound. He backhands that. What a great play. Bounces over and gets it. Throws it to Lundblad at first base, who tagged out the runner. Boy, what a super play by this young freshman. Now watch him. He will fall off to his left, stick his glove out, knock it down like I do that all the time.
That's not the routine way.
I love it.
First pitch to Chuck Johnson is a ball. The center fielder batting .291. 1 for 3 against Texas. Had a base hit. He goes down the right field line pretty deep. Corey Cook to the corner. It's foul. So Chuck Johnson will do it all over again. Remember, the wind is blowing toward that area. It's blowing across the field. Probably carried this ball into foul territory, Jim.
Well, it was a fastball out and over the plate, and he has shown power to the right field, down the right field line. In the game the other night, he hit several balls that way.
They come from all over to Omaha, Nebraska for the College World Series. From Alaska to Amarillo. Yeah, there are plenty of Texans here. You can bet on that. The Longhorns in the winner's bracket.
There was the forkball, the split-fingered fastball. Depending on who your coach or manager is, you can call it what you want. Bruce Suter says it's a split-fingered fastball. Jack Morris throws a split-fingered fastball with the Tigers. It's a heck of a pitch. Of course, before that, the great Elroy Face, it was a forkball. Joe Coleman threw a forkball.
Well, some people now call it a forkball, too. I think the forkball might be the pitch of the 80s because so many young pitchers are throwing it now.
I think you're right, and it's a lot easier to control. The key with that pitch is it's the same motion. It's the same motion. A changeup is very difficult for pitchers to get command of because it's difficult to keep the same pitching motion.
It's a full count of 3-2 with 2 out. Second inning, no score. Grounded to second base. Stanisic bobbles it momentarily, recovers in time. 3 ground balls, 3 outs in the second inning. We've played 1.5 in Game 6 of the '85 College World Series. No score here in Omaha between Arizona and Stanford. Harris, Cook, and Ramos coming up for Stanford. The confrontation between the pitcher and the batter. We talked about the offense, now the pitching and defense. Again, the teams are fairly similar in many regards except those bottom numbers.
And I tell you, that's the one that can really hurt you. Hinzo got his team in trouble with the error in the first inning, a routine ground ball hit right to him, and I guess that's what baseball is all about, youngsters and
a little cotton candy.
Cotton candy. I wish I had some.
You'd get it all over your face just like he did.
But I tell you, there's nothing worse than base on balls. There's no defense for it. And there's nothing worse than errors because you're out there in a position to do the job, catch the ball, and make the play.
Walt Harris leads off 322 with a couple home runs. looking for his first hit in the College World Series 1985. Facing David Carley, 6'8", remember, from Eureka, California. David Carley was an 8th-round Astros draft pick. He's a liberal arts major, son of Gerald R. Carley of Eureka, California. Called strike.
Well, the big 6'8" pitcher is very deliberate. He reminds you a little bit of Joe McGrain, who pitched last night, but he was left-handed. High leg kick, very slow and deliberate, and comes over the top with a good follow-through.
One and two.
He needs to have his control to be effective. He's got to move the ball in and out and hit those corners.
Chopped foul at home plate by Walt Harris. Walter Jr. from Lodi, California. Majoring in economics at Stanford. Also enjoys a little tennis, a little water skiing. Why not when you live out in California?
Who doesn't? I enjoy it in Michigan and Pennsylvania, too.
You live in both places. Let's hit down the right field line, heading toward the grandstand area there. It's out of play. So we'll back it up and do it all over again. 1 and 2 the count. The only 2 hits in the ball game came in the first. They belonged to Arizona, but the Wildcats did not score. We have no score in the bottom half of the second inning. We are in Rosenblatt Stadium, Omaha, Nebraska. ESPN delighted to be here for the 6th consecutive year. Delighted to have you with us. We went around, the tag applied, and that's the first out.
For 27, Toy Cook.
Second strikeout for David Carley.
Right field.
So next he will face Toy Cook. Cook made the good throw in the first inning to cut a runner down at third. 292 his batting average. He takes strike 1. He's from Canoga Park, California, majoring in communications. There's another strike. Cook also happens to be an honors student. He's listed in the who's who in American high school students. Also an excellent football player as a defensive back and wide receiver. Breaking ball hit foul. Still no balls and 2 strikes.
You know, John, there's many ways to be set on defense, but the main thing is to be on your toes. You may go down like Malay does here, gets 1 foot in front of the other one, but for him, he feels that's the best. He charges each time the pitch is thrown. No matter what type of hitter's up, I was watching him in the game yesterday. He does that on every pitch, a little bit different.
Just a little too high. It's 1 and 2. Toy Cook 1 for 3 with an RBI in the Cardinal loss to Miami. The count evens out at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, it's obvious to see that Carley wants to hit the outside part of the plate with the overhand breaking ball. We did a game that he pitched in out in Tucson on our way to Omaha, and he had the same situation there, trying to nip the outside corner with the slider, and then like there, coming high and tight with the fastball when he can.
And he missed again. It's full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. No walks yet by Carley. 2 strikeouts. We're early. Second inning from Omaha. Called strike 3. And that is strikeout number 3 for Carley.
John Ramos, catcher.
So you think you can hit? Take a look at this slider, low and away. The umpire says you are out. The batter says no way. Was that a strike?
We have the same winner in that argument.
Every time.
Dropped that one over for a strike.
That was interesting, John. That one was more of the old-fashioned curveball, the old-fashioned breaking ball. Took a little bit off of it.
He came over the top a little more with that one than he did the slider. A little too high. Herb Brown?
Jim, you caught a million curveballs. It really matters when the ball starts breaking, doesn't it?
It sure does. You know, it's important that it's a late breaking curveball. or a late breaking slider, because the old-fashioned curveball, the reason more and more pitchers are going to the shorter breaking balls, are easier to control and they break later. You can pick up the spin a lot of times in the old-fashioned over-the-top curveball, but not on the slider.
Ground ball to short. Tommy Hinzo is there. Short hops the throw, but coming up with it is Todd Trafton. That's it. 1, 2, 3. The Cardinal from Stanford go down in order. We'll move on to the third, still scoreless in Game 6 of the College World Series between Arizona and Stanford. Shermet, Taylor, and Hinzo are coming up. Just a single game coming up on Monday here from Omaha, Nebraska. It is a winner's bracket game between the Bulldogs of Mississippi State and the Razorbacks of Arkansas. It'll start at 12 a.m. That's Eastern time out on the West Coast. 9 o'clock for game number 7. Then on Tuesday there's another game. That's game 8. That one will be live here on your source for sports. The Hurricanes of Miami, with a big win in their opening game, take on the Longhorns of Texas. And we'll see if that Texas pitching can quiet those Miami bats. That's 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast.
Games get better and better, John. Each matchup gets more important.
Oh, plenty of U of A fans are here. No score. We move to the third inning. Dave Shermet with a .303 average, 10 homers and 42 runs batted in.
You know, John, I get the feeling that Coach Jerry Kendall said, hey, guys, we had a tough defeat last night. Mentally, I don't want you to be down. I want you to go in that batter's box and start cutting and slashing. Just about every hitter has swung at the first pitch.
Ground ball to third. Playing right there is Amaro, who was playing about even with the bag, and he took the easy hop and threw him out. And the one thing that you'll notice if you follow the infielders, Jim, is that it's almost like a golfer. There's a little movement before the ball gets there of some kind. See them all moving?
That's right. He's very similar, but he didn't charge in the way Malay did. He kind of stayed right there, but he got his glove down, made sure he had the ball, and made the routine play.
1 out to Dave Taylor, the catcher. Takes a strike down the middle. 222 average. He's not in there for his offense.
No, but he hit a ball last night that I think would have been a double, but that strong wind held it up.
He was 0 for 2 in the game last night.
Young Jack McDowell, quite a prospect according to Coach Mark Marquis.
That's into right field. Playing him perfectly is Troy Cook. Now again, we've seen good positioning defensively, I think, Jim, partly because they know each other so very well.
Well, they really do. When you play against each other 6 times during the regular season, you get to become old friends. The University of Arizona pitching chart right there. They keep the number of pitches, and also some teams keep counts on hitters and what pitch they hit and what field they hit it to.
Back to the top of the order. Tommy Hinzo got a base hit. His first time up, fouls that one away. Hinzo got a base hit. Hale followed with a base hit. Hinzo rounded second, headed for third, and he was thrown out at third base. Nobody on. 2 outs here in the third inning. Only 2 hits in the game, both owned by Arizona. Hinzo has one of them. The West 2 regional champions from Tucson. Coming in with a record of 47-21. Arizona has finished second in this championship 3 different times. Went fishing that time. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. McDowell has 1 strikeout so far. Neither pitcher has walked a batter. Cut off by the second baseman. Stanisic up and throwing, a good play, and the side is retired. Excellent play by Stanisic, going to his right to record the final out. No scores. We go to the bottom half of the third in Omaha, Nebraska. Verducci, Stanisic, who made the play, and Amaro are coming up. This is the way it ought to be done. Diving, backhanding, and throwing into the inning. Well, the record for the season, 4 for Stanford, 2 for Arizona. I tell you one thing they did, they put some big numbers on the board against each other.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, those games weren't an hour and a half, were they?
No, sirree. A couple of 20s.
I guess they got to know each other's pitching stats quite well. Nice future catcher right there. Of course, John, you know, Sunken Field down in Palo Alto is one of the prettiest sights I have ever seen in my life. And, of course, the field at University of Arizona in Tucson isn't too bad either. We have some gorgeous places. We have gone all over the country on our road to Omaha.
John Verducci, 290 his average, 5 homers, 54 runs batted in. An excellent shortstop for the Cardinal of Stanford.
Reminds me of my old buddy Mark Belanger, the Spider with the Baltimore Orioles. Soft hands. He's like a human vacuum cleaner. Mark Belanger now working in our Players Association office in the Big Apple. He's a big honcho over there now.
Yes, he is, and he's got plenty to do.
Boy, doesn't he, though?
Try to get that thing straightened out. Verducci's a senior from Burlingame, California. Spins away, but it's a strike. He is a product design major. Third team academic All-American is Verducci. Rolls it foul. With 2 balls, 2 strikes now. 6 feet even, 177-pound senior. Went 4 for 7 in the 1983 College World Series. That's when the scouts started to notice him a little bit. It's 2-2 here. That goes full at 3-2.
Well, he could hit 250 and he'd have a place in just about anybody's lineup.
It's the bottom half of inning number 3, game 6, losers bracket game. There's no tomorrow for the team that loses here. They'll be packed up and headed home. The winners get a couple days off. Don't have to play again until Wednesday. Just foul outside of third. Some good attendance in Omaha coming into tonight for the first 2 sessions. 26,795. And with this crowd tonight, I'm pretty sure we're going to be ahead of the all-time record attendance pace in Omaha that was set in 1981.
And for good reason. I have the feeling this is the best field that may have ever been at the College World Series, John.
Full count of 3-2. Verducci leading off with a hot shot to third. Comes up nicely for Malay, and he throws him out. That's a good hop that time. Of course, immediately when you start talking about the strength of the field, you say, well, what about South Carolina? They lost 2 and they're out. Well, somebody's going to lose 2. That doesn't take anything away from the Gamecocks and the job that June Raines did or the team itself.
Well, it sure doesn't. They had a fantastic season, and to get through those tough regionals and get here. Unfortunately, and I said this before, you hate to see 2 teams leave so early, but they have to with the elimination setup the way it is here.
Stanisiak struck out his first time up. Bunts it in the air. Goes behind the catcher and out of play. And the way this field is laid out right now with the rather soft conditions they have, it should be ideal for both the teams and the way they like to play.
And it's set up really for these 2 teams right here. Good situation to bunt, drag bunt, push the ball.
Still way back at first.
Good
third baseman
bases.
Malay has moved in a little bit. 0-1 the count. Curveball for a strike. 0-2. Do you think Pete agreed with that?
Yeah. How many times have you seen that? I think he may have been saying that was a hanger. I should have hacked at that.
Stayed inside on him. Caught the corner. 0-2 now. Got a piece of it, but the catcher hangs on. It's strikeout number 4 for David Carley. 4 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. Because I know that whether or not a catcher hangs on to a foul tip is more a matter of luck than anything else.
I think you're right. But again, this is the slider. The pitch has been getting them out most of the game. This has been Carley's out pitching. Good location on that one, low and away in the strike zone. I think you're right, John. I really do. But, you know, catchers have soft hands, so that really is a big part of it. You can't put that equipment on back there. You have to be tough, but you have to have soft hands. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's what it has to be.
1 ball and no strike on Ruben Amaro. In the corner, it's 1-1.
Of course, his father coached with the Chicago Cubs.
The man who bats behind him, Mark Davis, the brother of Mike Davis. High to right field. Shermet drifts to his left. That's it. 3 up and 3 down. We have played 3 in Omaha, Nebraska. Losers bracket game 6. Arizona and Stanford are scoreless right now. Hale, Senni, and Trafton coming up for Arizona. Totals after 3 for Arizona. No runs, 2 hits, an error for Stanford. No runs, no hits, no errors thus far. The Miami Maniac at work in the Omaha area as the College World Series official mascot. Another look at the nice crowd. The lighted area right in back of home plate. The lower press box area. We're up on top of the roof. Everybody sending greetings back to those who weren't fortunate enough to make the trip to Omaha. Chip Hale batting for the 2nd time. Chip had a base hit his first time up. The outside corner, it's 1-1.
Well, we have seen a lot of good pitches tonight already, John, just in the 4th inning, and both these pitchers are coming up with good location.
That's a called strike. It's 1-2, and when you have a freshman and a sophomore hooked up, you know that each of these teams is going to have these pitchers for another couple of years, so that's a plus when you look at the future.
As we saw in the first game, pitching is so important, a major part of the game of baseball. You need people that can get it across the plate, and both of these young men, this freshman and sophomore, have done that tonight. You need to have the arm, especially at the College World Series, to be successful.
The man at the plate is just a sophomore who started every game since coming to Arizona. Rolls it to the first baseman, Lundblad. To McDowell just in time. It was a foot race at the end.
Left fielder, Mike Senni.
But McDowell won it, 1 out.
Well, that time McDowell had Hale watch him as he pulls away. Really had him fooled on the pitch. He was a dead duck. Good pitch, good location. He taps it down to first base, and the young pitcher is covering. Perfect toss from the first baseman. Just gets him at first base.
Well, that is 9 in a row now retired by McDowell. After giving up a couple of hits to the first 2 batters he faced in inning number 1. Chops it to third. Amaro on target for out number 2.
First baseman, Todd Trafton.
As many ground balls as Arizona has hit tonight, even a couple of their 2 base hits were ground balls. You got to believe that his ball is sinking a little bit. It's tough to tell from our vantage point, but we'll check in with Irv and see what he has to say in a little bit.
10 ground balls off the bat of the Arizona players. 1 ball and no strikes on Trafton, who struck out his first time up. So Todd is now 0 for 5 in the College World Series, and he struck out 3 times. Fouls it back. He's looking for something to get him started.
Irv Brown, to me it looks like he's got a good sinker ball going for him tonight.
Jim, I'm over at first base. I've been moving around. This guy really pumps. In fact, both of them are a delight to watch. Quick arm speed. They try and throw the fastball in on the hands, the slider away. Here are a couple of young, outstanding pitches we're going to hear a great deal from.
Hey, Coach, is there anything more important than getting the ball over the plate in the right location?
I tell you, I saw it at the first game. You're right.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs on Todd Trafton. The Wildcats had back-to-back singles to open up the ball game, but since then nothing against Jack McDowell. Just inside, very close, full count of 3-2. Jack McDowell is from Van Nuys, California. Hit hard into left field, base hit. Harris up with it. Skidding to a stop as he rounds first is Todd Trafton with his first base hit of the College World Series.
And that's got to make him feel good. You get your first hit in a College World Series, boy, I tell you, that breaks the ice for you. But that was a good piece of hitting because this young man has somewhat handcuffed the Wildcats up until this point.
Well, he's glad.
Great feeling.
Waiting on, huh?
That's a great feeling.
Garmelet grounded out to third his first time up, so he's 1 for 5 in the College World Series. Arizona has scored only 1 run so far in this championship tournament, and Malay drove it in. They had the early lead on Greg Swindell in Texas, but some errors came back to haunt them. Longhorns scratched up a couple of runs and won the game. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Trafton takes his lead. A little bit high, 2-0. Quick toss to first by McDowell. It's been another pleasant day in the Omaha area. Pleasantly cool. Not a big lead for Trafton. He'll move off a little farther now. Not much though. Could not trigger, and it's a strike. 2-1. McDowell has struck out only 1 in the game. He's given up 3 hits. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. John Ramos. Trafton the runner at first. 2 outs. 3-1 the count. Chops it right off home plate. It'll be a tough play for Amaro. He decided not to throw to first. Looked at second, and I think if he throws the ball, he's got the man at second base. He's got a good shot at him because Trafton had rounded the bag.
I think you're right, John. It would have been a bang-bang play, but if he'd have wheeled the minute he got the ball, he may have had Trafton making that big turn around second base.
I think that's what he had in mind. Now watch Trafton.
There, by this time, Amaro has the ball. If he'd have thrown it right there, he would have been a dead duck.
You can see the reaction of the second baseman.
That's right. Stand
want that ball.
Give me it.
So with 2 outs, singles by Trafton and Malay. And the batter is Randy Hayes from Scottsdale, Arizona. He sneaked him south to Tucson somehow. He's 0 for 2 in the College World Series. The Wildcats have something started. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs, 2 on. No score, top of the 4th inning. And if you're Arizona, you've been here before. 2-1 loss to Texas last night. Scoreless game here into the 4th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
Now McDowell reached back that time and got a little bit extra on that one because that ball really took off. High in the strike zone. His ball seems to sink when he gets it down around thigh high or knee high, but when it's up, it seems to ride a little bit.
It was the 4th inning last night in which the Wildcats of Arizona scored. Malay at first. It's Trafton down at second. Too tight. 2-2. So it's 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 on. South Carolina eliminated earlier by Oklahoma State. Back to the pitcher. McDowell up on the first. That's it. 2 hits in the inning, 2 left. Arizona does not score. Bottom half of the 4th is coming up. Still no score in Omaha, Nebraska. Game 6 of the College World Series. Davis, Lundblade, and DeVenon coming up. He had retired 10 in a row until he threw this pitch to Trafton. So much for that. We are delighted to have you along for part of this 1985 College World Series, and you can enjoy it even more if you get a copy of the official program of this 1985 championships. It's a 96-page edition. College World Series program. Just send a check or money order for $5 to Post Office Box 1985A, Lexington, Kentucky 40502. Again, it's College World Series program, $5 check or money order, Box 1985A, Lexington, Kentucky 40502.
And don't forget, this is something I've been wanting to tell the whole world. Today is my sidekick, my good old partner I've done many games with, John Sanders. John is in his 40s.
I just got there, Jim.
Hey, Mr. Irv Brown, would you like to tell what part of the 40s our sidekick is in?
That's right. He's still on the front 9, but it won't be long. John, happy birthday. We'll have a soft drink later.
He doesn't look a day over 62. That's the great thing about our sidekick.
It's pretty sneaky. Well, how much? Now I got to pay him for that now, right?
And not with that, you have to buy afterwards, too.
We're in the bottom of the 4th. No score here. The Cardinals still looking for the first hit of the ball game. Mark Davis reached on an error his first time up, then stole a base. So he now has 16 stolen bases on the year, but Stanford not able to do anything thus far against Dave Carley, the sophomore from Eureka, California. He struck out 4, hasn't walked a batter. We've had no walks by either side. That's a plus. Well, I have to correct the fact that Carley did walk a man. I forgot about Lundblade in the first inning. So 1 walk. That's a strike. And it is Lundblade who's on deck. On the outside corner, it's 3-2. So Carley comes back.
Well, let's credit this young catcher, Dave Taylor, behind the plate, how he moves around, gives a low target. That was a slider on the outside part of the plate, and you see how he pulled it back over the strike zone? Catchers are crafty.
Sneaky.
Well, you know, sometimes I know I overdo it about the catchers, but anytime a pitcher pitches a good game, they will be the first to tell you I owe a lot to the catcher, because that's a big part of the ball game.
And you can see the catcher taking a look in the dugout. See if the coaches want to give him any help. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And it stays that way. It has been feast or famine so far at the 1985 College World Series. Ground ball to short. Hinzel. Just in time. Davis can't believe it. But Mark is retired on a bang play.
Sure was. Hinso kind of double pumped, and Davis felt he was safe, and he'll let the umpire know that he thought he was safe also. But Hinso gave it a little double pump, and you can't do that with a runner that runs as well as that young man.
Lundblade walked his first time up, the only man to reach on a base on balls. He drives this one into center field. Johnson coming on, can't get there. He keeps the ball in play and holds it to a single. So the string is broken. That's the first hit of the ball game for the Cardinal of Stanford.
That was a dangerous play because that was a sinking line drive, and I think he was pretty lucky that he was able to keep that ball and keep Lundblade to a single, because that ball could have very easily gotten by him and gone all the way to the wall, and we may have had a man on third or maybe all the way around the bases.
DeBennon bunts the ball. It's foul. Bounced into a forced play his first time up. So Stanford went 4 1/3 innings before picking up their first hit of the ball game. I mentioned feast or famine. On Friday, it was a 1-0 14-inning victory, Arkansas over South Carolina. Then Oklahoma State was pounded by Mississippi State 12-3. On Saturday, started out with a game in which Stanford was beaten by Miami 17-3, and then Texas nipping Arizona 2-1. First game here tonight, losers bracket game. It was Oklahoma State eliminating South Carolina 16-11. So the Gamecocks were on both ends of it. They lose 1-0 in 14 and 16-11. Another throw to first. Stretching back is Lundblade. He can run. 18 stolen bases.
He can do a lot of things. Almost a 400 batting average, over 20 home runs. Led the team in RBIs. Hits the ball all over the field. Good defensive player. He should be a high draft choice.
He is running. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second goes into center field. Lundblade gets up, but he cannot advance. Johnson up quickly to make sure he does not. So stolen base number 19 for Rick Lundblade. Second stolen base of the game for the Cardinal.
Well, the big man got a good jump at first base. Taylor a little slow coming out of the chute, makes a bad throw to second base. One on the money would have happened had the big fella at second base.
So now Lundblade in scoring position in this scoreless game, bottom of the 4th inning. It's up to DeBennon.
And he's been a hot hitter for the Stanford Cardinal.
He's behind in the count 0-2. Breaking pitch called strike 3.
That was an interesting pitch. That's what we call a backed up curveball. He got away with it. Sometimes that one will go about 9 miles out of the ballpark, but he's looking. You see the catcher Taylor on the outside part of the plate. Now watch where the hanging curveball is. It sort of backs up and goes on the inside part of the plate. He got away with one there.
And he got his 5th strikeout in the process. So now it's up to Walt Harris, who struck out his first time up. Takes ball 1 down and in. With 1 out, Lundblade singled, stole second. DeBennon struck out, and it's up to Harris. No score, bottom of the 4th, 2 outs. Another bluff move by Carly to second. Again, nobody covering on the play. Hit into right center field. Lundblade around third, headed for the plate. The throw is not in time, and Stanford takes a 1-0 lead.
That was a line shot on 1 hop to center fielder Chuck Johnson. Lundblade lumbering around third. The throw is right on the money. You be the judge. Did he get him before he got to the plate? He did not get him. He just made it in there. The umpire right on top of it. You take another look at it. That was an exceptional throw by Johnson, the center fielder. Taylor gets the ball. He's blocking the line, so Lundblade has to go out around. Just misses him on the back.
Well,
about a fraction of an inch, John.
In the game on Saturday, a play like that at the plate went against Stanford. The runner was out, may have turned the game around for Miami, but here the Cardinal jump ahead 1-0.
Well, I can't say enough for that throw that Chuck Johnson made from center field. Boy, that was exceptional.
The ball went all the way through, and Walt Harris was not able to move up to second base either, so there was no damage. I thought the ball might be cut off, but it was not. Troy Cook struck out his first time up. Harris back head first. He has 24 stolen bases. He can go up and down the lineup. They all have a bunch.
Well, John, they're all good college athletes. Both these coaches recruit a certain type of youngster out of high school, and you look at them, they all have good physiques. They all do just about everything well.
Back once again head first is Walt Harris. Dave Carley doing all that he can to cut down the lead.
Walt Harris says, no, wait a minute, that's enough. I've got to get out of here and get my breath, knock a little bit of this dirt off my uni.
A 2-out single by Harris, driving in Rick Lundblade with the opening run of the game. There's a ground ball near second base. Hale with the force there, and the inning is over. But here in the 4th inning, the Cardinal of Stanford break through in Game 6 of the College World Series. They take a 1-0 lead over Arizona. We'll move to the 5th. Johnson, Shermet, and Taylor coming up. It took us a while, but we got the first run. Johnson with the strong throw, but Stanford gets in and takes a 1-0 lead.
Arkansas at Mississippi State at 7:10. Tuesday night, 7:10. Session 5.
We're looking for every angle we can find, Jim.
And this one is a little bit different, and I think it shows a little bit of space between his glove and Lundblade, who slid into home plate safe. It was very close. You can't get much closer than that. Another look at it from this angle. The big man has to go out around the catcher. He wheels once he gets the ball. Tough, difficult to tell on that particular angle. But the one before that, it looked like there was a little bit of space between the shirt and the catcher's glove.
Well, we were wondering all night where Section K was. Stanford 1, Arizona 0. We go to the top of the 5th inning.
A few of my passes out there.
Bottom third of the order for the Wildcats, the West 2 regional champions. Stanford, the West 1 regional champions. A couple of Pac-10 teams going at it here in Omaha, Nebraska. They've come a long way, and one of them will be going home. One ball, no strikes. Johnson grounded out to second base his first time up. Count evens out at 1-1. John Ramos doing a lot of moving around behind the plate to help his pitcher out as much as he can.
Breaking ball.
Wants it away. A little too far away. 2-1.
Boy, you like the way both these catchers move around behind home plate. It really sets it up for their pitchers, and both these pitchers are pitching with great confidence, and part of that reason is because of the fellas behind the plate. And Ramos is a super defensive catcher. He gives a good load target.
I tell you, these two young men may be as good as you're going to see in a game.
You're right, and there was a good example because he gave a low target, the ball was high. He didn't move his back up and block the umpire. He put his glove hand up. That gives the umpire a good look at the ball.
3-1 the count. Now it's full at 3-2. Jack McDowell has not walked anybody. Dave Carley has walked one. McDowell has but one strikeout thus far. A lot of ground balls. There's another. This one's cut off by the third baseman. Amaro's throw is not going to be in time. One thing that Amaro might have done, though, he might have saved the double by getting to the ball.
There's no question about that. That ball had two base written all over it, and he knew that he wasn't going to have much of a chance. He gets down, gets off to a good quick start, backhands it in the in-between hop, and then really doesn't have a chance to set and throw. But I'll tell you what, he did save a two-base hit. There's no doubt about that, John. Good play by young Amaro. No chance to get the runner at first base. Johnson runs too well, and he knew that. He knew there wasn't much of a chance to get Johnson on that play.
So that is base hit number 5 for Arizona. The Wildcats now with Dave Shermet at the plate. Dave 0 for 1, 1 for 4 in the College World Series, and Jack McDowell is going to make sure that Johnson doesn't get off too far.
Well, this is what Arizona wants. They like to manufacture runs. You get the leadoff hitter on, it puts pressure on the defense.
7th meeting of the year between Stanford and Arizona. And this one, the most important of all. It is 1-0. Stanford leading Arizona, top of the 5th inning. Again, he chases Johnson back. Now he comes to the plate with a strike. It's 1-1. Nobody out in the Arizona 5th inning. The Wildcats down by a run. Sure met a freshman from Cypress, California. Arizona's 2 championships, though, under Coach Jerry Kendall, have come from the losers bracket. So Jerry is no stranger to the pressure of being on this side of things in Omaha.
And that is a tough way to go. A lot of pressure on you once you lose that first game, because there's no tomorrow.
And it puts extra pressure on the pitching staff because the games are closer together. Those arms can't recover as quickly. Now Johnson wants time to back off, regroup,
and get a new set of signs.
Third baseman is even with the bag. At second and short, they'll look for 2. And of course, the big hole again is on the right side. And once again, about 5 times that McDowell has chased him back.
Fans may boo, but if you're a catcher and you're on Stanford's team, that's what you want your pitcher to do. You don't want Johnson to get a good jump.
A little bit too high. 2 balls, 1 strike. The batter, between pitches, takes a good long look at Coach Kendall down at third. Nobody out. 1 on for Arizona. The runner is going. The ball kicks away from the second baseman. And Johnson moves his way to second base.
The throw from the catcher Ramos bounced down. See how low he gets and comes out of the chute, and coming out of the chute he's throwing, which is really important, but this ball bounces down. Stanisiak looks like he digs it out of the dirt on 1 hop, but then he loses it as he tags the runner Johnson going into second base. Another angle, he will go in head first. Watch the ball skip. Stanisiak gets it, he tags him, then it pops out.
Stolen base 150. Line drive foul. Herb Brown?
Hey, Jim Price, the way Ramos came up throwing, do you like the step catch throw or just as we saw him do it?
I think every situation will cause you to throw a little bit different, Herb. If the runner has a good jump, you're not going to have a chance to step throw. And of course, where the pitch is thrown, there's really no set way to get rid of the ball. A catcher has to be like an infielder. He has to be able to adjust to the pitch and the situation, but he's got to be quick.
He went for it, and he's down on strikes.
And he's got to have good hands just like that.
Catcher.
2 strikeouts for McDowell, 1 out with that runner at second, and Dave Taylor, the number 9 batter, will come to the plate.
Ramos, the catcher, gets real low. The umpire takes advantage of it, but catchers never get enough credit for plays like this. There should be a category for catchers who make good defensive plays like that. If that ball gets by, Johnson is on third base.
Fouled back by Dave Taylor on the first pitch. 0 for 3 in the College World Series, 0 for 1 tonight. Flied to right. That, by the way, has been the only fly ball out of the game against Jack McDowell. Everything else either ground balls or strikeouts. We're in the top of the 5th. Ground ball to short. Verducci bobbles, throws in time. 2 outs. Johnson winds up at third. Coach Kendall will have a chat with Johnson at third. Would like to get him across the plate and tie this game up.
The veteran Verducci got over there, bobbled this ball just a little bit, but watch him glide, pick it up, doesn't panic, makes a nice throw to first base because he knew the catcher Taylor was running, not the fastest on the Wildcat team.
Enzo bats for the 3rd time, takes strike 1. Tommy is 1 for 2, had a base hit in the first and was retired on a good play by Stanisiak in the 3rd inning. Stanisiak diving to his right, came up and threw him out. Count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson singled, stole second. Chermet struck out. Taylor grounded out. Johnson moving to third. Just foul outside of third.
You know, a situation like this, when you have a batter like Kinzo that runs so well, puts pressure on the defense because he runs well enough for the infield has got to play in. Now, Verducci will play about, I'd say, 25% in closer than he normally would. Amaro at third will play in. You'll notice, though, that Stanisiak is back a little bit, but once the pitch is thrown, he will take a couple steps in. Pressure on the defense.
Runner at third base with 2 outs. Chopped foul again, and Amaro playing rather close to the line. He's been able to get out there and pick him off. He picked off the one by Johnson behind third base, but was not able to throw him out. And Johnson is now at third with 2 down.
And John, they're not expecting this young man to hit the long ball because they have really brought the outfield in on Hinzo.
Tommy has only 1 home run this year. Down too low. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bounces it to the right side. Stanisiak charging, gloving, throwing. Got it. The inning is over. A hit, a stolen base. Johnson gets as far as third, but it's still Stanford by a run as we go to the bottom half of inning number 5. Ramos, Verducci, and Stanisiak are coming up for the Cardinal. Stay with us as we go head first into another inning in Omaha. Starting the 29th of June and continuing through much of the middle of July, ESPN, along with you, will renew America's love affair with the 1984 Summer Olympic Games, and for 16 days, we'll have all the excitement, the thrills, the heroes who made the headlines in Los Angeles. From Mary Lou Retton to Edwin Moses, it'll all be right here. The spirit of excellence, the 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games, coming up starting the 29th of June. Another cool night in Omaha, Nebraska. Very pleasant type weather. I would think that not the kind of weather that they're used to at Arizona, but maybe about right for the folks from Palo Alto.
That's right, and a good night to snuggle up like they're doing.
John Ramos is 0 for 1. Takes a strike.
And the minute you mention that,
Jim Price puts his jacket back on.
That's right, I have to have it back in the window at 11 o'clock tonight, so I'm going to get some use out of it.
Ground ball to short. Hinzo charging. On the first, 1 out. Ooh. These two teams go all out. Nothing is routine as far as ground balls are concerned. They're going to charge all the way.
Well, great rivalries during the season, of course. In the Pac-10, Mark Marcus knows that, and he is in the ball game on every pitch.
Verducci is the batter. Right now, Mark's team is up by a run. It's 1-0. 2 hits in the ball game for Stanford so far. Arizona has 5. Matter of fact, the Wildcats had 2 in the first and 2 in the fourth. Could not come up with a run. So it's 1-0. Best finish for Stanford in the College World Series was 1967. The Cardinal finished 3rd that year. 2-1 on John Verducci, who's 1 for 5 in the World Series. He did score one of the 3 Stanford runs against Miami. It was not nearly enough. 17-3 was the score in that one as Miami advanced to the winners bracket. We'll have winners action coming up on Monday and Tuesday here on ESPN. Then more doubleheader action on Wednesday as we continue to head toward the championships. Carley with his 2nd walk of the game puts Verducci aboard. This, by the way, also is the final NCAA championship to be decided this year. The track championship has been decided, so this is it. This is the finale for college athletics. Start all over again come the fall. And when we go to the fall, the colleges then will be limited to a 60-game spring schedule. Outside corner, called strike.
Stanisiak bluffing the bunt. He can handle the bat very well, so this is a good situation for Stanford.
Game number 61 for Stanford tonight. Game number 69 for Arizona. Ground ball through the right side into center field. On his way to third is Verducci. The ball was near second. But Chip Hale, who was covering, still was too far to his right to come up with the ball.
That's the way you draw it up on the chalkboard and the way you practice it in practice. That was perfectly executed run and hit. Verducci by this time is on his way. Stanisiak waits on the breaking ball, pushes it towards second base. Hale covering second base, can't recover fast enough to make the play. Verducci rounds second and goes into third. Men on first and third, just one out, John.
And the heart of the order coming up. Number 2 in the lineup, Amaro, who's 0 for 2 in the game, with runners at the corners, first and third. And we're going to have a little conference, I believe.
You notice right away the first person he wants to talk to is his catcher.
Now they'll set up the defense. And one of the things that you have to like about college baseball, you get in these situations, you can take nothing for granted because you never know what kind of play they've come up with or what kind of play they might want to put on at this point.
Boy, there's no doubt about that. That's the excitement of college baseball. In our meeting today with Stanford coach Mark Marquis, he made that point. He said, hey, we're college baseball. We're not pro baseball. We do things a little bit different. And it is exciting as we take a look at Jim McDonald loosening up in the Arizona bullpen, and he is in a hurry. But again, college baseball, they are different than pro ball, John.
Let's follow up on that a little bit because I think that's an interesting point. He said it's not the same game. Sure, there are people who criticize the aluminum bats, but he said this is not professional baseball, and we are not trying to be professional baseball.
Well, I tell you, he is a very articulate young man. I enjoy talking with him, and college baseball certainly needs young coaches like him. He's a delight.
And if you're realistic about it, no matter how many of these young men are drafted, a very small percentage will ever make it to the major leagues.
Very small.
2 on, 1 out. Now Carly will keep an eye on Stanisiak at first. Verducci's at third. The batter is Amaro. Stanford trying to add to a 1-0 lead. It's outside.
Infield is playing at double play depth. A lot of pressure in the infield because all the fellas on bases now run well. You have that big opening right at first base with the left-handed hitting. Amaro at the bat. Stanisiak can run.
Outside corner, it's 1-1.
He's looking for something he can pull. He wants to put it in that hole. Mark was flashing signs. Amaro taking a look. If he got the key, I'm sure he gave him the sign that he wants.
Throw to first, Irv Brown.
Jim, talk about the delayed double steal here because Mark Marquis will use it. What's the responsibility of the catcher?
Well, the catcher has always got to look at that runner at first base, but before he throws the ball, he's got to make sure the runner at third base is stationary. If the runner at third base makes his break towards home, he can fake the throw to second, get the man in third of the rundown.
Off the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. The runner at third is Verducci. He walked and moved to third on Stanisiak's base hit. The key to the game, as Jim Price pointed out, getting ahead. Advantage Stanford because they put all the pressure right now on Arizona. They lead by a run, looking for more. Did he hold up in time? No. Al Foreman rings him up, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bluff to third.
And he's doing that for a reason, 2 reasons. Maybe he doesn't feel right with that pitch. Also to get a feeling what the runners are going to do.
Last time he goes to first base. Stanisiak is back easily. Way up out of the strike zone, almost past the catcher that time. 3-2. Mark Marquis now will come up and go through another series of signs.
Remember, all signs are basically very simple. Until he hits the key, nothing means anything. The key may have been his belt buckle. We don't know. The key really makes the signs live.
You think Herb Brown knows?
Herb knows just about everything.
Full count. Now the bases are loaded. Carly with his third walk has filled them up with one out.
Number 8, Mark Davis, center field.
So we'll see how they set up defensively. You have to think that at second and short they will look for that double play and get out of the inning. Third and first may be pulled in a bit.
Attention, please. Jeff Maggio. Home, home.
You're right, John. What they'll do is they'll have the corners in, short and second, right in the middle for the double play at second base. Jerry Kendall.
Sluggo, you're going home now.
All right. All right. He
Sluggo
yells,
is going home.
Sluggo, that's first baseman Trafton. He's going to come home if his ball's hit to him. Home back to first. Same with the pitcher and third baseman. They will all come home. Second and short will go for 2 at the bag.
And he has backed Millay off just a little bit. If you take a look at it, Millay at third is deeper than Trafton at first. So he is backed off at third.
And that is because of the right-handed hitter.
Called strike. But Mark Davis. Mark reached on an error and grounded out. So he's 1 for 4 in the College World Series.
Good situation, though, for Stanford. Mark Davis runs very well.
1-1. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. A chance for the Cardinal to break it open right here. They know it.
Well, they're in the ball game. They're like their coach, Mark Marquis.
Make you bring it down. Let it fly, dog. Bring it down.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he
Nibbles
continues,
the
John.
outside.
Yeah, you're right. He continues to hit that outside corner. He doesn't come inside very often. You got to look away with Carly.
Two pitch. He held up. The appeal going down to Tony Patch.
This will be interesting, John, to see what he throws. I think he'll come back with the slider. He has more confidence, I feel, in his breaking pitch than he does with his fastball.
Well, there is no place to put Mark Davis.
And that was supposed to be a slider, but it was a hanging slider. Walks in, another run.
3 walks in the inning. That was one of the keys to a big win by Oklahoma State in the game before this one.
Catcher Taylor giving a low target. The ball just slipped out of his hand, hung up, high and tight. Ball 4.
So the bases are still loaded with 1 out. And we are going to have a new pitcher. Stanford leading 2-0 over Arizona. Still batting in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jim Wing goes to the mound. Mr. McDonald will be headed there himself in just a matter of a few seconds. We'll be back to Omaha. Stay with us.
Please. Number 29.
Right-hander Jim McDonald will be the new pitcher. 6'4", 197 pounds, 22-year-old junior from Reno, Nevada. A record of 7-0, a couple of saves out of the bullpen for the Wildcats of Arizona. McDonald coming on in relief. For him, this is his 24th appearance of the year. He has been busy.
He has been busy, but this is the man that Coach Jerry Kendall wants to go to in these situations because he's a controlled pitcher. His best pitch is a breaking ball. He's in here for one reason, and that's to get the ball over the plate with something on it. Take a look at his high leg kick, his deep concentration. He drops down low and has good leg drive and comes over the top. That happened to be a fastball.
Carly coming into this inning had allowed only a couple of hits and had given up that run, but he lost it a little bit. He got the first batter, then he walked for Ducci. Base hit by Stanasek, put runners at first and third, then walks to Amaro, and Davis pushed the run across, and the bases are still loaded. It is Stanasek at third. Amaro is on down at second, and Davis, who got credit for an RBI with the bases loaded walk, is at first. It's 2-0 here in Game 6, and we have a lot more to come from Omaha. We've really just started our trip to the championship round. We'll be back again on Monday with more College World Series action. It's Mississippi State and Arkansas, two of the winners from Friday's competition, at 12 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. out on the West Coast. Then it's Game 8 on Tuesday live here on ESPN. Miami and Texas. That should be a dandy. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast. Bases are still loaded, and the big guy is at the plate.
Well, this is the guy you would want at the plate for you if you're from the Stanford Cardinals rooting section. The man has set a lot of records, offensive records at Stanford.
Singleton scored his last time up. McDonald trying to keep the ball away from him. Throws a strike.
Well, you have to, if you're Lundblad, you have to give him that pitch. Give him that pitch until you get 2 strikes on you. Look for a pitch in the zone.
Checks off. And it's 1-1.
Usually the book on a big fellow like Lundblad is high and tight because these big, strong guys like to get their arms out. But you notice he is away from the plate pretty far, so he can still get those arms out.
2 balls and 1 strike. Carly officially goes 4 1/3, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 3 of them here in the inning. 2 runs are charged to him, and the 3 men on base are still his responsibility. So he'll look to Jim McDonald for some help now. Bottom of the 5th, 2-0, Stanford.
Goodbye.
Deep, deep ball to left field. It will stay in the park. Cini will make a play. The runner tags and heads home. It is 3-0, the Cardinal leading the Wildcats. Maybe an assist from the wind. He got under it just a little bit, but it stayed in the park. Nonetheless, it's a sacrifice and an RBI for him.
John, you called it, because the minute he swung, he had a good rip, and he gets all of it. But the wind is blowing in from left field, straight in. I'll tell you, he had a good swing on that pitch. He thought it was going also, but the wind held it up. Sacrifice fly, but another run for Stanford.
Runners at first and second now. 2 outs in the inning. It's 3-0 Stanford. Mike DeBenin, who's 0 for 2 tonight, will have his rips now. Swinging at the first pitch, he fouls it off. The walks have been the key for Stanford here in the 5th inning.
We've said it many times before, there is no defense for a walk. They haven't developed one yet.
Both of the runners on base, Amaro and Davis, reached on walks. Foul tip.
And the Arizona bullpen continues to stay hot with Joe Estes now throwing down in the pen. There's no tomorrow, John.
Not for the loser tonight. It's over. Rack up the bats until next year. Ground ball, it's short. Hinzo bobbles it, and everybody's safe. So once again, Stanford will have the bases loaded.
That was a hard hit ball that Hincho had to go over for. That would have been a good play if he'd have been able to come up with it. They give him a base hit. I would say sometimes he would come up with that play, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Base hit.
It was a tough chance.
Tough chance is right.
His best play probably would have been to go to second and try to get the force. But as it is, the bases are loaded once again. And Harris, who had a RBI single his last time up, is at the plate. Estes continues to work. Harris is the 8th Cardinal to come to the plate. Bottom of the 5th, 3-0 Stanford. And it's 0-2 on Walt Harris. Walt 1 for 6 in the '85 College World Series. Drove in the first run for Stanford tonight. They scored a single run in the 4th. They've added 2 more here in the bottom of the 5th inning. One and 2.
John, this is important batter, an important out for Arizona, because down 3-0, they're still in the ball game, but a base hit here could break it open. Only 4 more at bats for Arizona.
Into right field, base hit. 1 run is in for Around headed to home is run number 5. It is 5-0. 2 more runs score on the play. It's a 4-run inning for Stanford. Scoring Amaro and Davis. Runners at first and third. A key hit with 2 outs by Walt Harris. 2 more RBIs for him. He has 3 in the game.
Well, just what Arizona couldn't let happen just happened. Walt Harris drilled the ball to right field for another 2 runs for Stanford. The pitch is low and away, and he goes down and he gets it. A breaking ball. Boy, that's a good piece of hitting by this young Harris. Right field, a line shot. Coach Jerry Kendall not happy at all at this point.
And all 5 runs are charged to Carly. The runners on base are now McDonald's responsibility. A big 5 up there for Stanford. Fouled back by Toy Cook, who is the 9th Stanford player to come to the plate. 3 walks in this inning have really helped, in addition to 3 hits. So the hits are even at 5 apiece now, but it's 5-0 Stanford. On the corner, it's 0-2. Cook is 0 for 2 tonight. Two on, 2 outs. Stanford has scored 4. DeBenin is at third. He got an infield single to keep the inning alive. Harris at first with a 2-run single. At the plate, it is Cook. 1-2. Cook takes a long look at his coach, Mark Marquis. He fouled away a pitch out.
Well, that was that's what he's supposed to do, because the runner was running. It was a hit and run. It was a live play, and the catcher stepped out. Taylor, we'll see him. He steps out. It's a pitch out. Good bat control right there to take it right out of the catcher's hands, because he'd have had the runner a dead duck right before he caught it. He'd have been a dead man at second base.
Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hits it to the right side. And that's it. McDonald wins the race to first, but it's a big inning for the Stanford Cardinal. They score 4 times to build their lead. We will move to the 6th inning. It's 5-0. Stanford leading Arizona. The Wildcats will go to work with Hale, Senny, and Trafton. We move to inning number 6 with Stanford leading by 5 here in Game 6 of the College World Series. That is Mark Maktoff, who is now the new 3rd baseman. A defensive change made by Mark Marquis. He goes to 3rd to replace Ruben Amaro. Well, I hope you did make sure. Make sure we have everybody's scorecard correct as we go to the 6th inning. Second baseman Chip Hale, Mike Senny, and Todd Trafton coming up. Wildcats have some work to do. A 4-run 5th inning. And Jim, you hit the nail on the head. Those walks. In the inning, there were 3 men walked. They all scored.
Boy, they'll kill you every time.
Called strike to Chip Hale. Out on the mound now, Jack McDowell has a little bit of breathing room. That's 0-2. Irv?
Jack McDowell is throwing 87, 88 consistently. He threw 1 pitch 90. And a guy who gave me that report said to say hello to Jim Price. Orlando Pena, the scout for the Tigers, your old teammate.
A called strike 3. So that's the way the 6th begins, with McDowell's 3rd strikeout.
And And this is the way Orlando Pena used to throw him, I tell you, just like this in the outside part of the plate, and he's called for the 3rd strike. Orlando, he could pitch every day. What a rubber arm he had.
Senni takes high. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Mike still looking for his first hit in the College World Series for 1985. He's 0 for 5. The Wildcats have run into some tough pitching. Last night, Greg Swindell. Tonight, Jack McDowell. Stanford leads it here 5-0. 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. There's the strike.
Well, McDowell continues to throw well, and I think a big part of the reason is this catcher Ramos. He really gives him a good low target, and look how friendly he is with the umpire behind him. He's got him leaning on him. I'll tell you, they've picked up quite a friendship. That's important for catchers. You've got to know how to serenade those umpires. Don't show them up. Get to be friendly with them, and you're going to get some borderline pitches. And I know some of the old umpires that I played against out there listening, and I was friends with all of them, believe me. It didn't help me when I was batting, but catching it could get you some pitches for your pitcher, and that's very important.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Jack McDowell with a 5-run lead. Called strike 3.
This young freshman continues to impress just about everybody, because that pitch was a slider, one of the few sliders he has thrown in this game. But as Irv Brown was saying, he's throwing in the high 80s. You've got to believe that he's going to pick up another 2-3 miles an hour as he matures and gets stronger. Just a freshman. You saw him cut the ball right there low and away. The umpire says, you're out.
He's rung up 2 in a row by strikeout. Total of 4 in the game. But he has struck out 3 of the last 5 that he has faced, so he's beginning to pick up the strikeout numbers. Stanford came into this championship event ranked #1 in the nation. But Coach Marquis discounted that. He said 1 through 8 doesn't matter. Any one can win the title.
That's right. It is up for grabs once they all get there. But Marquis has really has had some fine teams at Stanford.
Three and 1 now.
No secret to what this young man is doing. He just says, give me the ball. I'm going to throw it over the plate. I'm going to make him hit it.
Crafton fouls it back. Todd tonight is 1 for 2. Struck out, singled in the 4th inning. The Wildcats with 2 hits in the 1st, 2 hits in the 4th. And 1 hit in the 5th inning, but no damage as yet. That is the first walk given up by McDowell.
Batter number 25, third baseman, Dar Malay.
In left field, Lundblade was running on the play on the hit and run, but Malay dives, makes the play, gets up. Boy, he makes a strong throw to first base.
We have seen some sparkling defense in this game tonight.
Well, that is nice to see. It really is.
Harris, he's been the big man offensively with 3 RBIs, a chance to add to that total with Lundblade at second in scoring position, 2 outs. In the 5th inning, his 2-out single chased home 2 more. He also had a 2-out single in the 4th to drive in the 1st run. So he has been the clutch hitter tonight. Two and 0. They're not going to let Walt Harris do any more damage. an intentional walk. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Torrey Cook will come to the plate. Torrey is 0 for 3 tonight. Low and away to Cook. 1 ball, no strikes. Jim McDonald trying to work out of a jam, a 2-out jam with 2 on for Stanford. The Cardinal with 1 run in the 4th, 4 more in the 5th inning, leading 5-0. Count evens out at a ball and a strike as he fouls it back. Runners at first and second. Down at second is Lundblade. He got a base hit. Moved up on a ground ball, and at first it was Walt Harris who walked, and was walked intentionally. Some activity at second, so McDonald backs off the mound. It's 1-1 with 2 outs. Stanford up by a handful. There's a throw to second. Lundblade is back.
And you may have noticed on that shot from center field, the catcher looked like he was giving the sign on that pickoff play. Right about this time, the catcher, Taylor, is giving some sort of sign, and the second baseman breaks over. A very good time play set up by the catcher.
Meanwhile, at the plate, it's 2-1 now on Cook. Two outs in the inning. Slap the glove down. That's the signal, I guess, huh, Jim?
Well, they're going to play with him at second base. 5 runs down. They cannot let any more runs score.
Rolled foul. 2-2 now, Irv.
Hey, Jim Price, the difference between a count play and a daylight play at second base.
Well, Coach, the daylight play is the pitcher. The minute the infielder gets behind the runner at second base, that's the daylight to second base. Then the count play is a play the catcher can get on, put on where he'll give a sign, then you count.
Chop toward third base. Millay charging, but can't handle it. He slips by the shortstop, and the bases are going to be loaded.
Just to pick up on that if I can, the count play, the sign is put on, the pitcher counts, and the infielder that is covering second base counts the same way, then he wheels and deal at the count of 3 or 4. Routine ground ball hit down to Millay at third. He just boots it. He lets the ball get by him, and now all of a sudden bases are loaded. Another fielding mistake by the Arizona Wildcats.
Second error in the game.
Just your basic routine play that should be handled by the Wildcats.
The bases are loaded now. Earlier, Tommy Hinzo picked up an error. Now it's an error on Millay. John Ramos a chance with the bases loaded. 1 ball, no strikes. It's still Joe Estes throwing in the bullpen for Arizona. Two balls, no strikes. The error situation, the defense situation was one of the things we talked about when the game began. Now 150 errors this season for Arizona. The called strike. 2-1.
That's an amazing statistic when you look at the record that Arizona has this year.
Contrast that with Stanford, only 69 errors. The Cardinal leading 5-0 over the Wildcats. Ground ball to short, hit the runner, and that'll take care of the inning. So the inning is over. Stanford not able to add to their lead. That lead right now is 5-0. We have completed 7 innings in Game 6 of the 1985 College World Series. Taylor, Hinzo, and Hale due up for Arizona. The Wildcats got out of the inning because he couldn't get out of the way. We continue here in Omaha, Nebraska on Monday with Mississippi State and Arkansas. That game will begin after ESPN's coverage of the USFL. So it's a 12 a.m. Eastern time start. That's 9 o'clock out on the West Coast. That's game 7. And then on Tuesday, it's game 8 live here on ESPN Miami and Texas. We continue through the winners bracket of this tournament. And the winners of those 2 games will get together again on Thursday. And we'll have some more of the losers action coming up on Wednesday in terms of a doubleheader. One of these teams tonight is on its way home. Will it be the U of A? A couple innings to decide that yet as we go to the 8th. Stanford on top 5-0. And now O'Connell will pitch hit. Joe coming on.
John, this is a very unusual situation for the University of Arizona. They have not been shut out all year, so they're in a very unfamiliar position.
Called strike. In case you're keeping score with us, we need to tell you that John Ramos, when the man was hit by the ball off his bat, gets credit for a base hit. So there are now 8 hits in the game for Stanford, 5 for Arizona. And kicks away from the catcher. It's 2-1.
So that made Ramos's happy.
Probably not really, though. He'd rather have something else and keep the inning going. And the putout is credited to the shortstop. Joe O'Donnell pinch hitting here in the 8th inning for Dave Taylor. Sure the right names and numbers are on that scorecard. That's the way the 8th begins. Second walk by McDowell. And there is activity now in the Stanford bullpen.
Top of the order, Tommy Hinzo, first up.
Top of the order with Tommy Hinzo now. That's Lee Plemmel throwing, the right-hander. Lee Plemmel starting to get loose. We're at that part of the game when you look to your bullpen for your closer. Man on, nobody out. Hinzo's hit came in the 1st inning.
No secret what he's trying to do. He just wants to get the ball over. He's had good stuff all night. Get the ball over the plate with that good movement.
He'd like 6 more outs to finish this one up.
You notice he gave a fake to first base because Lundblade is playing behind him.
Here's the strike. This is Jack McDowell's 16th start of the season. He has gone the distance 5 times, including 2 shutouts. He's ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. O'Donnell at first with nobody out. Hit into left field. Harris is there, 1 out. Let's go to Irv Brown.
John, you'll appreciate this. They take a strike trying to get some base runners. Remember Dick Grote, the Pirates, the Cardinals? He was as good as I've ever seen drawing the base on balls. It was an art with the guy. He would crouch just a little bit, get his chin over the plate. I thought he was sensational.
Dick Grote, the MVP in 1960, also an All-American.
Oh, yes.
At Duke University.
And a fellow that I played with Pittsburgh. Nobody could handle the bat any better than he could they, John?
Yes, sir. Along that line, a personal note, if I might, because they are honoring a very special person back in Pittsburgh tonight by the name of Bob Prince, the gunner, the announcer for many, many years. And Bob has had a rough spring. He's been very ill following surgery. Returned to the Pirate broadcast booth during the course of this season, but he has been ill of late, and we hope he enjoyed his night. He was honored as the Man of the Year, and we continue to wish him a speedy recovery. Want him back with us soon.
And John, I want to pass along my my hellos to him, Bob Prince, one of the great announcers of all time in baseball.
It is 1 ball and 2 strikes right here on Chip Hale, batting with 1 out, 1 on. Chip had a base hit in the 1st inning, so he's 2 for 7 in the College World Series, and he'd like to stick around Omaha a little longer. Ground ball to second, gets through. It's knocked down Stanisiak, but he cannot come up with it. He did a good job to cut it off. So that'll put runners at 1st and 2nd. Credit Hale with his 2nd hit of the night.
The ball was hit sharply. It looked like it was going to go all the way through the outfield, but Stanisiak gets a good jump and then leaps, stretches, knocks it down with the glove, and it looks like it hit off his face somewhere and bounded into right field. We take another look at it off his glove, and then looks like it glanced off his face or his shoulder, and he was able to retrieve it. Runners on first and second.
For Mike Senni, who's 0 for 3. It's a 5-0 ball game.
Well, Stanisiak would like to have another shot at that because he's what you call a gamer.
Thought he should have come up with the play.
Right.
He didn't. And the inning stays alive for Arizona. There's 1 out, 2 on. Joe O'Donnell walked to start it. Enzo fly to left. And Chip Hale with an infield single.
Jack McDowell looking in, getting mad at himself, bearing down, knowing what he has to do.
12 strike. We love the double play. We've not had one in the game. There's Mark Marquis doing a little pacing down there.
Never an easy moment for a coach or a manager, John. No matter what the score is.
Can't feel too comfortable. Good pitch there.
Well, that's one of the best pitches he's thrown in a couple innings. This time the freshman reared back, reached back, and got a little bit more. Look at that ball dart in on the hitter. Good pitch.
It's 2-2. Shortstop has it. Verducci, the second, on the first, not in time. Stanisiak's relay not in time. They get the middleman, and that's the second out of the inning.
But I'll tell you one thing, though. You almost saw a major league double play right there. Verducci at shortstop. Boy, what an outstanding play that was. He goes far to his right to field the ball on one hop. Watch how fast he gets rid of it and makes a perfect throw to Stanisiak at second base, who wheels over to first. Just about got the runner at first base. Boy, that was a dandy.
2 outs. Runners at the corners now for Todd Trafton. Todd 1 for 2. Fouls it back. Got a base hit in the 4th inning. Officially 1 for 5 in the College World Series with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Arizona with 6 hits. Stanford 8. It's 5-0. The Cardinal leading the Wildcats. Just off the edge. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, we talked about scouting reports, and with the defense, the center fielder, especially Davis, plays a shallow center field. And even though they're up 5 runs, you might think they'd be playing deeper, but they feel more comfortable playing that shallow.
Line drive to Verducci. The inning is over. The shutout continues. He hit it hard, but right at the shortstop. It'll be Verducci who will start it off, and Stanford comes to bat, leading 5-0. It is Stanford up by 5 over Arizona as the Cardinal come to bat in the bottom half of the 8th inning. We have some defensive changes for the Wildcats of Arizona. Steve Strong moves behind the plate to handle a brand new pitcher because Joe Estes is on the mound.
Now pitching for Arizona.
Well, this young left-hander has been quite an asset to the Wildcats all season. 10 big saves for him. He features a good fastball. His best pitch might be a curveball, though, and he'll also throw a straight change. He's done a lot of work out of the pen for the Wildcats this year, and they look for him to stop the Cardinal right here. Keep him at 5 runs.
Joe Estes is a junior from Tucson, Arizona, 6'3", 190, 20 years old. And he is the 3rd pitcher. Throws the book on Jim McDonald. He gets credit for 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 5 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, no runs. All 5 runs were charged to the starter, Dave Carley. Bottom of the 8th inning. Verducci, who recorded the last out in the top half of this inning, will lead it off. He grounds it to short and gets through. Base hit through the hole. First hit of the night for John Verducci.
He didn't waste any time, John. He jumped on the first pitch from the left-hander and laced it into left field.
Number 7, Pete Stanisic, second base.
So now it's the top of the order, and Pete Stanisic. Pete is 2 for 4 tonight. He scored a run as a stolen base. Verducci, the runner at first, nobody out.
Good bat control at the plate, good speed at first base for Stanford.
On the corner, it's a called strike. 0-1. Dave Carley, the starter, went 4 1/3. Jim McDonald 2 2/3. Now it's up to Joe Estes.
Well, he showed us a couple of good moves to first base. That time it wasn't a standard move. He stepped off and threw over to first base. Quick move.
Again, he goes over.
That's about as close to a balk as you're going to see, John.
It was borderline, wasn't it? That hit by Verducci is the 9th for the Cardinal. Stanford trying to stay alive in this 1985 College World Series. And if they win this game, and 2. If they win this game, they'll move on to a game on Wednesday against the loser of Monday's Arkansas-Mississippi State game. Oklahoma State has moved on. Cowboys will play again. There's another base hit to left field, about the same spot. So back-to-back singles open up the 8th inning for Stanford. Oklahoma State is set to play the second game on Wednesday. The Cowboys are waiting for the loser of the game on Tuesday between Texas and Arizona.
Third base.
Two on with nobody out. Mark McDoff will bat for the second time. He's 0 for 1. Let's see what Mark Marquis decides to do with this situation, Jim. He's got the advantage here.
You're right, John. We talked about it before as Mark Marquis flashes some signs to the batter. He's got all the cards in his hands. He can run and hit, bunt and run, double steal, a lot of options.
There's the bunt. It's foul. So everybody will back up and we'll do it again.
Well, he decided at least for that pitch anyway to just sacrifice, get the 2 runners up, try to pick up another run or 2, go into the 9th inning with a bigger lead than they have right now.
Well, he's got his 3rd and 4th hitters coming up. Verducci is the runner at second for Stanford. Stanisic with a base hit. His 2nd of the night is on at first. Excuse me, his 3rd of the night. Stanisic has 3 hits in the ball game, 3 for 5 and 4 for 10 in the College World Series. He's batting .400 here in Omaha. Time called as the batter steps out. It's 1-1, nobody out, 2 on for the Cardinal. 8th inning. Stanford leading 5-0. The bunt again. Runners at second and third with 1 out.
Well, for you youngsters that are out there watching, that is the perfect sacrifice. You square around, give yourself up. Don't try to be fancy with it. Lay the ball down and advance the runners, and he did it perfectly that time.
So the runners are at second and third for Mac Davis with Rick Lundblade to follow. Only 1 out, remember. The infield is in because Arizona down by 5, knowing they can allow no more runs. Driven right at the second baseman. Throw to third. Not in time. We'll have the bases loaded. A little bit of a gamble there by Chip Hale. He decided to try for that runner going back to third. The runner would not have scored. Instead, he did not get the out.
Well, that was a reaction by Chip Hale at second base. See the runner at third. He was not going to score, as John says, and Chip Hale bounced the ball over to Garmalay at third base.
So the bases are now loaded. Okay. I see. It was a line drive. I thought the ball hit the ground. It did not. It caught it in the air. So he's trying for the double play. So you and I are wrong. I thought the ball hit the ground.
Boy, it sure did look that way from here.
Well, that's 2 outs in the inning. They won't give Lundblad a chance with first base open. That will be all right.
Getting kind of late, John. Your birthday's almost over.
Go get this man now.
Come on now.
Well, where I live, it is. You're right. The bases are loaded, but there are 2 outs. The line drive off the bat of Mark Davis. I thought it skipped. It did not.
Well, excuse us, Chip Hale. You made the right play that time.
Exactly right, Chip. We thought you'd done something wrong, and you did not. So it's our mistake. Here's DeBennon, 1 for 4.
Good play by the catcher Straw.
It's the bottom half of the 8th inning. In this inning, base hits by Verducci, Stanisic, sacrificed by Mactoff, line drive out by Mark Davis. Lundblad intentionally walked, and DeBennon at the plate. Took a little something off and got it across.
Johnny, turn that ball over a little bit. It looked like a Hernandez screwball. Turn it over just a little bit in perfect location.
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. Bases loaded for Stanford. Long drive, deep left field. Back to the warning track. That one rattles the board as it gets out of here. A grand slam home run by Mike DeBennon.
Well, the move by Coach Jerry Kendall that time of essentially walking Lundblad did not work out because Mike DeBennon waited for an off-speed pitch. It's out over the plate, and he goes out, and he gets it. Boy, did he hit that ball solidly. A line shot that hit off the fence in left field. I should say the higher fence in left field. It was hit like a rocket shot, and of course Joe Estes would like to have that one back.
So now it is 9-0. And with that blow, Coach Kendall probably start thinking about next year. Line drive, left center field, base hit. Harris is going to try for 2. He'll make it. Let's go to Irv Brown.
Boy, Jim Price, you talk about taking a change up deep. The ball was up. DeBennon just hung on that back foot. He sat on it, and that was it. Bye-bye, a dinger.
Irv, you got the feeling that he knew what the pitcher was going to throw on that pitch because he gave it a little hesitation, then he regrouped and stayed right with it and drilled it.
Jim, they do a lot of guessing, and they go up, and if they have guessed right, get the pitch in that location. It is history.
Well, there's nothing like guessing right.
And that is Mr. DeBennon.
Happy man.
Chopped off the plate over the pitcher's head. Hinzo. That ends it, but not until the Cardinal had scored 4 runs on the blast by Mike DeBennon. 9-0 as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Stanford is cruising here. Millay, Hayes, and Johnson as Arizona comes up for the last time. Jerry Kendall may be headed home. It is 9-0. Stanford leading Arizona as the Wildcats come up for their last time at bat. Grand slam home run by DeBennon. Going to put the lid on things here tonight.
Happy young man, Mike DeBenin, third career Grand Slam at Stanford. And if you're an Arizona fan, you might be wondering when the last time your Wildcat team was shut out. May 7th, 1983 by UCLA.
So it's been a long, long time since that has happened. We're in the ninth, and Millay, who's 1 for 3, and an infield single back in the 4th inning. 12 hits in the ball game for Stanford. Arizona with 6. That's a fair ball. Millay around first, on his way to second, and he's there with a double.
Well, there's no way these Wildcats want to be shut out. Gar Millay starts it out with a ground ball double just inside the line at third base. They don't say die. They don't give up.
So Randy Hayes will get a chance. He's 0 for 3.
Batter, Randy Hayes, the DH.
Stanford with a single run in the 4th, 4 more in the 5th inning. And the grand slam by DeBenin in the 8th inning. 9-0. It's going to be 9-1 here pretty quick. Drive down the line. Millay around third, headed for the plate. Back-to-back doubles. It's a 9-1 ball game.
Well, he didn't waste any time. He jumped on the first pitch and drilled it into left field.
Good job, Randy. Good job.
Left fielder getting over there. He gets in front of the ball, but he has a little bit of trouble with it. It bounces away, then he loses it over the pitcher's mound. Scatters everybody down there. By the time he could retrieve it, runners in safe at second base with a double. That mound has caused some problems during the World Series this year.
Yep, we saw a player take a header over that mound.
Looked like he had a cross body block. University of Texas left fielder last night.
Back-to-back doubles in the 9th inning. Put the Wildcats on the board. Now it's Johnson. Swing and a miss. McDowell loses a bid for his 3rd shutout of the season.
Well, Johnson wanted to make this score 9-3 because he takes a big cut at a high fastball, but he was late.
Fouls it back. It's 1-2. I think we're going to see some pinch hitters come trotting off Jerry Kendall's bench here in the 9th inning. Scott McSparron is already on deck.
Well, he's going to send up every extra bat he has, especially left-hand guys that hit from the left side like Scott McSparron does.
Ground ball to second base. Through the legs of Stanisic. Around third and headed home is Hayes. It's 9-2.
God, I'm not sure that ball went through his legs. I think it took a bad hop and just about took his head off. That was a vicious shot by Johnson. Hit right at Stanisic at second base. He goes with the pitch. And it's hit like a bullet right at him. Watch it take a bad hop right over to right for the left side of his face. Right there. Holy mackerel.
He was lucky to get out of the way of that.
Right. That was self-defense.
So it'll be a base hit and an RBI.
Scott McSparron.
McSparron is the pinch hitter.
Batting for Shermet.
The bet for Dave Shermet. Called strike.
It looks to me like McDowell is still throwing just as well as he did in earlier innings.
Well, he has someone warming up out there. Plemmel is getting ready. McSparron at the plate, a junior from Tucson, Arizona.
But these Wildcats this inning, really, they're not getting cheated at all. Irv Brown, does he look like Irv? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
How does he look like he's throwing down there? They're not getting cheated this inning.
No, I tell you, he's still a closer, Jim. His stuff is good. Arizona's a good hitting ball club that has had a difficult time. The guy still looks as good to me as he had.
Okay, thanks, Irv.
It is a foul ball. So Johnson, who drove in the 2nd run of this inning, will retreat. It's 9-2 here in the top of the 9th inning.
One thing about it, when you're a freshman, you're strong and you can throw a lot of pitches.
Arizona had gone 13 innings without scoring a run until they tacked on 2 here in the 9th, fouled back by the pinch hitter Scott McSparran. Barbalay opened the inning with a double. Randy Hayes followed with a double. Johnson hit a ball on the ground that was hard hit and took a wicked hop past Pete Stanisic. Kicks away from the catcher, but Ramos keeps it in front of him.
No place for Johnson to go. Down 7 runs.
Nobody out in the 9th for Arizona. Steve Strong will follow. Ground ball to second. Stanisic kicks it, recovers, gets the out at first. He was thinking double play. Maybe he was thinking double play too much.
Yeah, he may have gotten ahead of himself a little bit, and he's kicking himself for it. He knows that was a tailor-made.
With 1 out. Steve Strong will bat. 253 is Steve's average. He's the starter at DH for Arizona yesterday. Swing and a miss. Immediately following this game tonight, we'll return to ESPN Sports Center to highlight all of Sunday's activity in the world of sports. So stay with us for that.
Once in a while, this young freshman will rear back and try a little bit, throw a little bit too hard like he did on that pitch. It's obvious when he does it. You can pick it out.
Two balls, 1 strike. Strong was 0 for 3 last night. Coming up in a situation here with the 9th inning. He hits the ball high in the air down the right field line. Lundblade runs out of room. Good play there.
Lee Rockwood to the main gate.
Happy young man, glad he stayed around. Got a souvenir from the College World Series, 1985.
RBIs in this inning off Jack McDowell go to Randy Hayes and Chuck Johnson. Johnson is still out there. He's on at second base with 1 out. It's the top of the 9th. Fly ball right field. Toy Cook. Now the Stanford Cardinal are 1 out away from victory, staying alive in the College World Series. They're ready to celebrate a little bit, which will be more fun than it was last night when they lost 17-3.
Boy, what a turnaround for the Cardinal. Of course, Arizona, they never say die. They still think they have a chance, and Coach Jerry Kendall is, that's the way he was when he was a pro player, too. He was a winner.
Hit to the first baseman. This should do it. Stanford has eliminated Arizona. The final is 9-2 tonight here in Rosenblatt Stadium, Omaha. We'll be back to recap tonight's game, get some thoughts from Jim Price before we head out of tonight's activity. But it is Stanford. They stay alive in the College World Series. We'll see them again on Wednesday. For Arizona, a young team that battled its way to Omaha, maybe when they weren't expected, well, maybe another chance for them next year. Our final wrap is coming up from Omaha. The final against Stanford 9 and Arizona 2.
Forward to have you back soon. Score. Stanford, 9 runs. No errors. 9 left. Back down. Winner.
Stanford stays alive in the College World Series. The Cardinal beating Arizona 9-2 is the final tonight. Final totals in the ball game for Arizona: 2 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Wildcats left 7. For Stanford, 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left 9 on base. McDowell the winner, Carly the loser. Well, we'll be back again tomorrow. Game 7, Mississippi State Bulldogs against the Razorbacks of Arkansas after USFL football at 12 a.m. right here on ESPN. Then on Tuesday, it's Miami and Texas as we continue with live coverage, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Celebration for Stanford. They win it 9-2. For Irv Brown and Jim Price, I'm John Sanders. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow from the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska.
Got it.